We realised that when she sort of passed away that nobody's had that time to spend with those people one-to-one, and we felt that it was our duty really to bring everyone together and share the information that we have. So we invite you here whether you are sick and need help or if you're just conscious about taking control of your own health. We're not here to be negative at all. Lots of people have had problems with the NHS or doctors. We're not here to at all bring negativity here. Obviously we're really lucky to have the NHS and to have doctors, but a lot of people are turning to natural health and natural medicine. Again, this is a completely sharing space, so if anyone's got something they'd like to share with the group, something that they've tried, please feel free to have a chat and share that afterwards. Sam is our first speaker and she's going to talk about the alkaline diet and juicing, so I'll hand over to her in a minute. I thought what we'd do is we just start off with a little mini meditation, just sort of get rid of the day and get us all in the same space. So,
I've got to mention Dr. Otto Warburg when we were talking about the alkaline diet. So he was a doctor that he's famous and he won a Nobel Prize for discovering, well, it was said that he discovered that cancer cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. That's the same as an alkaline environment. Oxygen-rich is alkaline. But there's lots and lots of different information on the internet, so I've been looking into it more and more. And what I've found and what sits right with me and what I think, I can take that. I think that's true. Is that what he actually found was that cancer cells have actually cells that have adapted to thrive in an acidic environment. Their cells gone wrong and they're thriving and growing in a bad environment. Oxygen by itself doesn't kill them because they don't use a lot of oxygen. And what it said, I've got this information off the Truth About Cancer website, and he said what he actually found was prolonged exposure to toxins, especially in combination with cells which have not been properly nourished, oxygenated, hydrated and cleansed, is the primary cause of cancer. So just to put it simply, it's a toxic environment, the cells that haven't been mopped up and cleaned away, they've been allowed to grow, and that's when you get your tumours. So that's my understanding of it. So that's Mr. Otto Warburg. So, alkaline diet. The alkaline scale goes from acidic, neutral and alkaline. So neutral is 7, a pH of 7. Anything below that is acidic, anything above that is alkaline. There's different parts of the body from different pH, and all the fluids in the body, different pH depending on where you are. The stomach obviously is acidic and it needs to be. The blood, now, and I think this is really key, the blood is maintained at a level of 7.35 to 7.45 pH. Anything slightly above or below that and we'd be dead. So our body is working very, very, very hard, depending upon our diet, to maintain that. So if we're eating rubbish food, acidic food, and I'll go on to explain what's acidic and alkaline food, our body's having to work overtime. It's like running a car on really rubbish petrol and oil and never changing the spark plugs. It's working really, really hard. But if you're furnishing your body with good foods, alkaline foods, healthy foods, then your body doesn't have to work so hard. So this is a typical pH food chart that you'll see on the internet. We'll have a little, move it closer so you can have a little look. So, alkaline foods are fresh, healthy foods, water, fruit, vegetables, acidic foods are your like Coke, burgers, crisps, sugar, bread, things like that. Okay.
So anything's processed is more likely
Yes,
to be alkaline.
yeah. And if it comes from the earth, if it grows, if Mother Nature provides it, it's probably alkaline. One of the things with eating a healthy alkaline diet is that the foods that we're eating have lots of antioxidants. Now remember what I said about the cells changing in an acidic environment. Things like antioxidants in our healthy food help to mop them up. So in every single piece of fruit, vegetables, nuts, anything that's fresh and natural will contain many, many, many things. An example of some antioxidants are obviously you've got vitamins E, C and selenium. Lycopene is one of the tiny, tiny things found in tomatoes. And that tiny, tiny molecule, that minuscule bit of the tomato, it protects the eyes, the prostate and the heart. It's like different fruits and vegetables will have different amounts of different antioxidants and nutrients that seem to have a special power, like a purpose, like with lycopene, it protects the prostate and heart health. Resveratrol, found in grapes, is a great bowel protector. I've read research where they've studied resveratrol, so scientists have extracted the resveratrol from the skin of the red grapes and they've used it to reduce the size of tumours in the bowel before operating on them. So, as you can see, including that in your diet, you know, you're getting so much goodness when you're just eating fresh fruit and veg. Beta carotene, found in carrots. Yeah. Apparently there's more beta carotene in carrots when you cook them. Some foods release more of their antioxidants and their goodness when they're cooked, others when they're raw. So, all colourful fruit and veg, nuts and natural foods are rich in antioxidants. We need antioxidants to mop up free radicals. Yeah, they're like the cleaners. So if you live in this big house and you've got loads of children, loads of people living there, you create a lot of mess. You need these antioxidants to go in and blast and clean up and get rid of all the rubbish, otherwise it builds up. And it's the same in our body. If we don't have those, if our body doesn't have these tools, the mess and the rubbish builds up and you can't move before you know it and you're in trouble. Another antioxidant that I found out about that is probably called a nutraceutical. That's just another component. And now, to just make it a little bit more clear, I'd like you to have a look at this. This is a research article. Right, you've seen this, haven't you guys? And it's about peppermint, just ordinary peppermint that most people have got in their garden. And in this research, they looked at chemically every single component that's contained. You think about a peppermint leaf. Now I'm going to pass this round. This list is the list of antioxidants and nutraceuticals, or in other words, the components, the little cells, the molecules that make up peppermint. So just have a little look down that list. And I think you'll find, I think it's pretty amazing. So in every single fruit, vegetable, tree, herb, there's that and more. You know, there's a hell of a lot that go to make it up. And each one of those little ingredients has a biological effect in our body, ones that we need. So I've mentioned the word nutraceuticals. Basically, a nutraceutical is what I said, it's just one part of a natural food, one little molecule that can do a fantastic job. Now, myricetin is a nutraceutical, or a little compartment found in berries, vegetables, teas and wines. And what this can do is it's a fantastic antioxidant, so it's a cleaner. It goes in and cleans all the rubbish out of our body. It's an anti-diabetic, so I presume it helps balance sugar levels. It's an anti-inflammatory. Anti-inflammatories are really, really good because it's inflammation in our body that causes a lot of illness and disease. It's an analgesic, so it's a painkiller, and it's anti-cancerous. Now, the research said that this nutraceutical, this one little tiny, tiny molecule, was cytotoxic towards liver, pancreatic and colon cancer. So it went in, organs blazing, and killed them cells, them cancer cells. And what it also does is it inhibited the key enzymes involved in the initiation and progression of cancer. So when cancer starts and grows, it needs certain things to thrive and to do what it wants to do. And this stopped it, it helped to stop it in its tracks. And also, as if that's not enough, studies suggest that it protects against Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
And so that's in berries, vegetables, teas and wines.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I've found out. It's probably in a lot more, as if that's not enough, but it's in a lot of natural foods. You will not find that in a McDonald's burger, and you will not find that in a Mars bar or anything. There's nothing.
Nothing processed.
Yeah, and so when we're eating stuff like that, not that that's not okay, because you need a balance, don't you? But it's so important to eat fresh fruit and vegetables because you need molecules like this, otherwise we're in trouble. If you think of it like a bank account balance, every time you eat something fresh and healthy and good for you, you're adding to your bank account balance. So, and every time you don't, you're withdrawing, you're taking away. Every time you have something good and healthy, you're power walking. Every time you have something bad, you're walking against the wind, you're struggling, you're working hard, but that's what your body's doing. Another nutraceutical that's in that peppermint that you'll see that is listed is luteolin. There's many more than this, by the way. These are just two that I've looked into. So luteolin is a flavonoid, which is an antioxidant, and it's found in celery, parsley, broccoli, onions, carrots, peppers, cabbages and apple skins and peppermint. It is a fantastic anti-inflammatory, anti-allergy, a cardioprotectant, so it helps to protect the heart. It's anti-cancer, and the cancers in particular that it's good at fighting are breast, prostate and ovarian. It's a good hormone balancer as well. So every time you're eating celery, parsley, broccoli, any of those things or mint that it's in, you're naturally helping to balance your hormones. So it's like a preventative. Now, cancer cells, as I said, they mutate. They're like the rogue cells that won't refuse to die off properly, and their cell walls change so that they're not so easy to get rid of with the antioxidants and things like that. So how they die is a process called apoptosis. This nutraceutical induces cell death, apoptosis, in cancer cells. There aren't many substances that can do that. Quite a few essential oils are said to help to kill cancer cells, in particular frankincense and myrrh, but lots of other essential oils as well. But this nutraceutical helps to kill cancer cells in the skin, blood, pancreas, liver, cervical and prostate, and it also suppresses there's another word I can't say. Metastasis?
Metastasis.
Yeah.
Yes.
And apparently, according to this research article, that accounts for 90% of cancer mortality. Mm. So, why? You know, hats off to luteolin. So now we're thinking, right, I'm going to have all this fruit and veg and it's going to be fantastic. It's okay eating it all, but our bodies have got to be able to absorb it all. And so that we might need to think about our digestive system a little bit more. So the digestive system involves all these organs. There are other things that we can do to help our body to absorb nutrients. Probiotics. Probiotics are gut-friendly bacteria. They're good bacteria that help to break down food and digest it. But also we've got a lot of bacteria in our digestive system, in our small and large intestines. And bacteria breed, don't they? So we want, and sometimes it's as if there's a fight going on between the bad and the good bacteria, and we don't want the bad bacteria to win. So if we're eating acidic food, like high in sugar, fats and stuff, wrong fats, then that might overtake the good bacteria. But we can take probiotics and stop eating.
Yeah, it was on TV last night.
B vitamins. B vitamins are important for digestion as well. B vitamins are what's a water-soluble vitamin. Vitamin B and vitamin C are water-soluble, so we need those from our food every day. Our body can't store those, and we need a constant, everyday supply. Vitamins A, D, E and K are fat-soluble, so our bodies can store them. But Marmite's a good source of B vitamins.
And dark chocolate.
Beer.
Look into it, look what's got B vitamins in and try and make sure you include that in your diet every day. B vitamins also help you cope with stress, which also affects the digestive system massively. We need fats, good, healthy, stable fats to absorb vitamins A, D, E and K. The fats that I use butter, coconut oil and olive oil. There's probably other fats that are fantastic as well, but the more natural and stable the fat, the better. It's people that are on a really, really low fat diet can.
And that's why avocados are a superfood, because it's got the right amount of fat.
Yeah.
It's
and
already portion
it's
control
in a
for you.
complete lovely package, isn't it? And it's got vitamins and minerals in. You've got all your omega fats in there. Fantastic. Just a little slide about the amount of digestive diseases there are. There are a lot. I'll pass this round and you can have a little look. I've got this from the Global Journal of Digestive Diseases. Inflammatory bowel disease, which is colitis and Crohn's, but you've also got IBS, which is a big umbrella term for inflammation in the bowel, just a poorly digestive system, isn't it? But there's a lot of other digestive system problems there as well.
There's sorry, just to jump in there as well. There's they say that there's a whole train of thinking that most disease comes from the gut, because the gut is your brain of the body and it looks after everything within the body. So keeping that flora and fauna and sorry.
You mood.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. I mean, you
There
store
are
your energy there, don't you?
studies that say it directly affects your mental and emotional health, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If you're stressed and upset, that's what I said about stress management as well on this slide. Trying to find ways to deal with your stress, like meditation, walking in nature, yoga, just breathing, things like that can really help your digestive system. So, saying about all diseases a lot of diseases come from the gut. This is where this leaky gut syndrome comes in. Have you heard of leaky gut syndrome? Leaky gut syndrome. There's a lot of information on the web about it. On the reference sheet, there's some scientific research to prove that it exists, because there's a lot of information out there to say, it doesn't, it's like a made up disease. It does exist. It's basically a pooly bowel, and it's been irritated by different things. It's widely known now that things like ibuprofen damage the digestive system. If you think of the bowel and the small intestines, so food is passing through, it's got an inner coating and a lining that's very, very delicate and specific, because it has to let different molecules through, different tiny molecules from this food that we're eating. But it becomes damaged when we're eating the wrong kind of foods, or you're taking too many prescription drugs, painkillers. Obviously you have to take what you have to take, but the more you can limit the damage, the better. So leaky gut syndrome, which is like a damaged bowel wall, so it's letting toxins through into the body. So it's not containing the waste and the toxins, the wall is damaged and toxins are leaking out into the body. So the body then goes into attack mode, it stimulates the immune system and causes an inflammatory response. And that's what is said can lead to so many diseases, because you've got all these toxins. And imagine, right, somebody's eating a lot of very unhealthy food as well, so their body's not only running uphill with the wind coming towards them, they've got no shoes on either, and they're being beaten as well whilst they're running up there. Your body's really having to work hard now to keep on top of things. But healing the digestive system is one of the most important things that I believe that you can do to improve your health, and there's lots of things and ways that you can do that. So one of the things is minimising the amount of ibuprofen, things like that you're taking, and maybe find if you're taking it for a bad back, maybe try stretching. But obviously you don't stop taking any medication before you speak to your GP. So other things that can help to heal the digestive system is a herb called slippery elm. That's not slippery elm, that's slippery elm. Slippery elm has been used for years. It's an age-old remedy, and it was used as a tonic to help people that were convalescing, mixed into a gruel. And people like they're so ill they can't eat properly. They used to drink this like gruel type porridge made with slippery elm. It's full of nutrients and it lined the digestive system and helped to heal it. You can get slippery elm, they sell it upstairs, and look into it, do your research, have a look on the internet. It helps to heal the digestive system, sort of. Aloe vera.
Hello.
Anybody heard of aloe vera? Aloe vera. Aloe vera is a fantastic colon cleanser, and it goes through and lines the digestive system in a really cleansing, antibacterial way. Really good for constipation.
It's very gentle as well. It's not harsh at all. It's very gentle.
Fresh aloe vera. If you break that up and you actually take the stuff inside, because I've never done it, I always wanted to know that. Because we've got a big plant. I've used it on my skin and my face. It's great if you've got a burn or anything, but I'll never know whether it was safe to eat.
Yes, it is, and I've spoken to people. I mean, I've used it myself. Spoken to people that have used it.
I've got quite a big plant at home, so it's my dad's. So.
It's very, very good colon cleanser.
They take it in space with them, astronauts. They take a plant of aloe vera. They all have one. Because it's good for many other things, not just burn.
That's it. The little bits.
Yeah,
It's quite strong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, just I don't read. But you just squeeze it and you get a huge amount of so we've got
But in the drinks it's actually jelly. The actual jelly inside, they just shred that and stick it into your drink. So you drink in the gel.
That is the best bit, I think, in my opinion, just the inner leaf.
Yeah.
In some juices it's like the outer leaf as well, but
No, it's the jelly
that
you want.
contains some sort of latex. Apparently, the actual leaf itself, the green, so it's the inner gel that you want. Anybody that suffers from constipation, then flaxseed. Flaxseed is good for constipation or diarrhea. As I said, aloe vera, good for constipation, good colon cleanse. Psyllium husk is a nice natural fibre. You know, like they give you fibre gel sometimes if you're having trouble. Psyllium husk is a nice alternative because it's actually nutritious and it's a natural substance as well. And the last thing I wanted to talk about with digestion is enzymes. Some people find it hard to digest and break up proteins and fats. So you may or may not need to have an enzyme supplement while you're healing on your journey. As I said, enzymes are produced in saliva, but there are also a lot of them produced in the pancreas. So there's quite a few different enzymes, and they all have a different job to do. Some will break down fats, some will break down carbohydrates, sugars, proteins. So that's another thing that you could consider if you're still having trouble with your digestive system and absorption of nutrients.